keep telling myself I need to like put it into high gear. Online classes are hard. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Let's talk WGU. If you're new here, then welcome. My name is Shayla, and this is my channel where I just document my whole entire life. And if you're not new here and you've been tuned in with me for a little bit, then welcome back. Let's get into a little school update. So it is officially the end of my term. Claps for that, or mini claps, right? Claps for that, but yes, it's the end of my term. It is currently, I'm looking at my wrist like I have a watch. It's currently July 2nd, right? So my third term ended on June 30th. So I believe the last video I did for you guys was just giving you like an update on, where I was at in the current classes that I was taking for my third term with WGU. So I took financial management, ethical leadership, and marketing. Those are the three classes I had in my third term. So just to like break it down a little bit, for the first, second, and third term, I signed up for 9 credits essentially, which is basically 3 credits a class. So I had basically 9 credits for the first 3 terms. Now that I think about it, I don't think I knew this, or I did know this, but I just didn't want to do it when I started. That maybe I should have enrolled with just 6, like on like a part-time basis. But either way, I kind of like the added pressure. Not that I regret doing the 9 CUs, but for some reason I just always end up just completing like 2 classes each term, which is basically 6 credits. So that's what happened my third term, which just ended. I completed my financial management class and I completed my marketing class. So that definitely wasn't a easy feat, I would say, because I was kind of like going through the material. One, if you're in the MBA, the financial management class is probably the most difficult class I've taken thus far. It was a lot of formulas, it was a lot of concepts. It goes over like bonds and stocks and different interest rates and different coupon rates with the bonds. If you've heard of any of these terms before, then I guess you can kind of like pick up the gist, but it really does delve very deeply into financial management in my opinion. So it was definitely a little difficult, just kind of like taking in all the material and trying to like memorize it, and then also trying to properly apply the formulas, because they do give you the formulas. For this class, I had to take an objective assessment, which is basically a multiple choice test. So on the test, they do give you the formulas, so you don't have to memorize the formulas, but just knowing how to apply the formula to the questions. And essential to get a graphic calculator, a Texas Instruments calculator, like a special calculator that'll have different features. Obviously the school will tell you, but I can't remember the exact like calculator. I think it was like T2 something, but it's like a special calculator, not just like a regular basic calculator. You need a special calculator, which is like $30 or $40, because they're gonna tell you what type of buttons to press in order to make sure you're doing the formula correctly and things like that. So that is very, very important, because the formulas, like, there's a lot of questions that have to do with calculating the formula. So if you want to score really high, you'll definitely need to get majority of the questions right on the test, and there are a lot of questions having you do formulas. So the calculator is very, very important. So financial management, that took me a little longer than I expected, just going through the material. And then I had some things happen like in my personal life that, I was kind of going through like a hard time. So that kind of like put a jam in my studies as well. But I was also able to finish my marketing class, which was a writing task. So I had to basically come up with a hospitality business that I was running. I had to select 2 products I was gonna introduce on like a global market, and then basically just go over like how to distribute the product, how to promote it, different things like that. So there was different sections within the task that I basically have to answer. And I will say the great thing about WGU is when you're doing some of the tasks like that, they'll basically say like you don't have to stick so strictly to essay format, but you can kind of like break it down and almost treat it like a short answer type of thing. So that's really helpful because it kind of takes like the stress of like, okay, really organizing an essay in like perfect essay format, which kind of makes it a little bit easier to break it down for myself. If you want to treat it like an essay, you can, but that kind of helps me like break it down. So, right, I was able to finish financial management and my marketing classes for my third term. So now, all in total so far, I have completed 18 competency units is what they call them, or as I'm calling them, credits. It's kind of like the same thing. But all in all, I've completed 18 competency units or credits, and I have 16 more to complete. So in total, basically, the MBA program is 34 competency units or credits, if that's easier for you to think about it. So, right, I have 16 left to complete. So that is essentially 5 classes. I have 4 classes that are worth 3 competency units each, and then my MBA capstone is 4 competency units. So the goal is, honestly, like, since I've been kind of like, I don't want to use the term slacking, but I think I've just been like taking my time, and I keep telling myself I need to like put it into high gear because I don't want to have to do another term. And I just feel like, yeah, since I've kind of just been doing 2 classes at a time, I feel like I should be able to do this. So my goal for this term is to make this my last term. So if I can graduate in December, then it would have taken me 2 years to complete this program, which is kind of standard for most MBA programs. Like I've said before, with WGU, you can do it faster. It all just depends on your schedule, how you work, discipline, and things like that. But if you wanted to get it done in a year, if you wanted to get it done in 6 months, 6 months I think would be quite hard for the MBA program. A year I think is doable if you're really like putting your foot to the gas, and in my opinion, if you don't work a full-time job. In my case, I do work a full-time job, so it kind of is like harder to balance the work out. But yeah, I think it's doable in a year. But for me, if I finish in December, that'll be 2 years, which is fine for me. I'm happy with that. I feel very proud of myself, actually. From the point that I started WGU, I had been out of school for about 2 years. So I had like a little bit of a break. So I was a little nervous, like, okay, am I really gonna be able to do this? But honestly, the main thing keeping me motivated is like, girl, you started, so like you have to finish. And that's why it's like, at this point, I'm just accepting the fact that, yeah, I have 5 classes that I need to complete in these next 6 months. And that's just what I'm gonna do because I wanna finish by December. I don't wanna play around anymore. I paid for it, I'm gonna finish. So for this next term coming up, these next classes I have, well, I already set my MBA capstone, which is gonna be literally the last thing I do because I think it's like a cumulative project, basically, like taking everything you learned in the program and then applying it to whatever scenario or situation they're going to lay out for me. So that's the MBA capstone. I have ethical reasoning, I have operations management, and I have data-driven decision making, I believe. And then there's one more class that I can't remember the name of right now. Give me 1 sec.
2 hours later.
Okay, so I got my laptop out. So we have ethical leadership, data-driven decision making, operations management, global economics for managers, and then, like I said, my MBA capstone. So those are the next 5 classes that I have. My ethical leadership class is going to be a written task. My data-driven decision-making class is going to be a written task and a multiple choice test. And then my operations class is a multiple choice test, and global economics for managers is a multiple choice test as well. So these next few classes really shouldn't be that hard because all I need to do is take a test, and I'm actually a pretty good test taker. Like, I never really like freak out or get worried when I have to like take tests, as long as I kind of know that I'm like decently prepared. So like this last leg of my program should kind of be the lightest portion, except the MBA capstone. I don't really know what that's going to entail. So I don't know how hard it's going to be, but just from the classes and, you know, what I have to do in order to pass my class, this half should be a little better. That's basically the update for now on WGU. I'm really like just proud of myself that I've been able to do this like completely online. Online classes are hard. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They're hard. You know what I'm saying? It definitely takes a type of like dedication, a type of discipline, and if you don't have those, like myself, because I do struggle, not the dedication per se, but just like the discipline and sticking to a schedule, I tend to struggle with that. So for me, I'm a person that works very well under pressure. Like, if I have a due date coming up, I'm like, no, I gotta get it done. So if you're not really like that, then I would say, yeah, it's really gotta come down to the dedication, the discipline, being motivated, and knowing that, you know, this is something you want to pursue and this is something you want to do, because having classes completely online, it's really easy to fall off. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it is really easy to slack and not get your work done and not really be learning, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like I'm learning, and I really am proud of myself for how far I've come in the program, and I can't wait to get my diploma. Like, literally, you don't even understand. Like, I just can't wait. Because I love school, but like, it's like, oh, once I'm in it, it's like, can this be over? For all of you that have been watching and have been joining me along my journey, thank you for tuning in. If you guys are in any program in WGU, just saying good luck. Take it one day at a time, and everything will fall into place. So yeah, join me in my next video. And wait. Make sure you like and subscribe and turn your post notifications on so you don't miss an update. And now, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.